Welcome to the Wally Show Precast, as we also, it's really become a thing where we do this on Facebook Live as well, so you can check it out there. Just search Wally Show on Facebook. And we got some birthdays to get to, and then some serious stuff, as well as some questions. Let's start off with this question here that somebody asked. I'm graduating with my master's degree, and things are going well. I actually have two job opportunities, one being in my hometown and the other being 2,000 miles away where I don't know anyone. The jobs are pretty equal, and so which one should I accept? My friends and family are telling me to stay here, but I'm not sure if, they're biased or not. So I've created a pros and cons list, and, in my head, and for each place, it just doesn't seem to help. So I would really love to know, what are your guys' thoughts and your perspective on this, since the three of you have moved around so much, except for Betty. Betty's never moved anywhere, will never move anywhere. And she is locked into this place for sure. So my personal take is go on the adventure. When I was younger, I chose things that were maybe even safer. And if all things being equal, step outside and go do something different where experience different people, maybe a different culture. You're not reliant on people. And I think it will make you stronger ultimately.
Yeah, and I think it too depends on where his hometown is and where the other job is, because
Yeah, this is Alyssa.
Okay, Alyssa, she. I don't know why I said he. I thought you said he.
Only men can work.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, really, Becca? I think women are amazing.
Stop. No, you don't.
Oh, you're so right. No.
No, because my hometown, for example, is the Quad Cities, Illinois. It's the home of John Deere, but that's about it. There's just not a lot going on. And so moving to Nashville was like, yeah, this is a big step. So
were you the footloose kid that's like, I just got to get out of this little town?
Yeah, I wanted to leave for sure. And it was really hard for Joey's family, not for Joey because he was ready to leave, but Joey's family. He's the first one in like 3 generations to leave that town.
Really?
Yeah, so it was a big deal.
Are they Amish?
No, but I think that there is something to be learned by moving away, and maybe someday you return. Like, it doesn't mean like, oh, it's a permanent thing, but while you're graduating, you're young, like, go move away, go see what that's like, and force yourself to be outside your comfort zone a little bit. And then after 2 years, if you're just absolutely miserable, if the job isn't as good as you wanted it to be, if the city is not exciting, if there's not a good community that you've built and you've tried everything, I mean, exhausted all options.
And you weren't murdered?
Right, exactly. Like, you have 2 job offers now. The job will be there in the future if you want to return home.
Yeah, because, I mean, they say you can't go home again, but I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I think
you can.
Yeah, ask every parent that has a 29-year-old that just moved back in with them.
And now especially is the time to go away, because let's say that I'm guessing Alyssa has some tug to want to stay at home. For me, I was like, nope, see you guys. Like,
right.
Let's get this done with. But it sounds like she has this tug to want to stay home. I think that tug will get greater as she gets older, and especially if she has kids someday, or if she has kids now as they get older so they can be around grandparents. So get away now when it's easier, you have fewer strings attached. And then later, if you decide to go back, maybe it'll make more sense in your life.
And now counterpoint, Betty Rock.
I mean,
don't ever leave anywhere.
No, I'm not saying that I never will. I'm just saying that
that's weird, because you've told me you never
You've
will.
literally said that.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying now that I ever will. I have a right to change my mind,
That's
guys.
true.
Okay.
Let's say you find a guy that you like, and you're like, okay, this is the guy for me. Before it was a deal breaker. You're like, oh, if he lives somewhere else or he wants to move, absolutely not. Has that perspective changed for you? Maybe
a little.
Okay.
Yeah, a little. But I've never felt the need to leave. So there's no need to judge me. So y'all have felt the need to leave. Fine, more power to you. I don't judge you for it, so don't judge me for not feeling the need. Well, not you.
I'm not judging. We're not judging you. It's like if you're
making fun.
No. If you're that close to your family, I think that's a good thing. I grew up around family, and I loved it. I look back on those times, and they were great memories. And for me, just the call was to go, because I had to go find work, and where I found work was in other places, and that was just the way it was.
So my call was not to go.
That's great.
Speaking of getting married someday, though, Corey made a good point. They said it's good for your marriage to break away from living near your parents for a time. We did it, and it helps you depend on your spouse instead of mom, dad, sister, etc. And I think that is a good thing for a lot of couples.
We went through that with my wife when we moved to California 7 years into our marriage or whatever, and she had been heavily reliant on her dad. Like, there would be things that, like, needed to be done at the house. She's like, oh, I'll call my dad to get it. I'm like, no, I want to do it. It's my house. I want to do it. You know, and she was so reliant on them that when we moved, we had no one. And so it was the two of us, and then we had Haley, so it was the three of us, and it cemented us together. And she'll tell you now that experience really did make her grow, and she became more self-reliant, and it was a good thing for her ultimately.
I think make sure that if home is an important thing to you, you have family there that's important, make sure you're taking a job that pays enough and has good enough vacation policy where you'll be able to return. Like, because I left from Cleveland to Dallas, Texas, and like that was really important to me that I could fly back a couple times a year or pay to fly my parents. And it's not that it wasn't tons of money, but if I could set aside $1,000 or $2,000 a year to be able to do those things, that was really important.
That's a good point.
I almost took a job in the Orkney Islands. Anyone know where the Orkney Islands are?
Canada?
No.
No. Okay, so you've got Scotland. There's Ireland's above Scotland. Like, they are like Arctic Circle islands.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. And so I wanted to live out of the country so badly. So there was a radio job that came up. I'm married at the time. And I'm thinking, did we have Haley yet? I don't remember. But I started doing the math on how I could take this job because I just wanted something different. I wanted an experience. But then the pay, as you imagine, I think it's an island of like 1,100 people.
So $6 an hour.
Yeah, so why do they even have a radio station? You could literally yell to someone. And their big export is like yak fur or something. And like I'm like, how awesome would this be? My wife was not down with this, by the way. And
is that where you got that one shirt, by the way?
Yes.
Was that made out of the yak fur?
The shirt you guys hate, yes, it's a yak shirt because it looks like someone yacked on it.
You said it. We didn't.
I just had to beat someone there. And so, so like I think the pay was $23,000 a year or something like that, which on that island, I'm like thinking that's probably pretty good. But my whole point was of wanting to live in Europe was so I could travel.
And you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and go see all these amazing places. But if you're making $22,000 a year living on an island where you have to ferry off or fly off, you're never going to see that.
Where stuff is expensive because of all the, cost of getting it there.
Yeah, so that's good advice.
I had a classmate who took a job in Alaska, a radio job in Alaska.
Oh, wow. I've heard those are horrible.
And it was this tiny little town that you couldn't get there by road. You either had to fly or boat. And so his pay was decent. I think he was making like $50,000 for right out of college. Like,
yeah, because everyone
salary.
quits 6 months in.
Right, which you quickly found out why. It's because like a gallon of milk cost like $12 and like a gallon of gas like was the same. Like everything was so expensive.
It's light 84 hours a day and you can't sleep.
There's no fast food. There's like one restaurant in his entire town that he could get to without flying somewhere to go eat.
Yeah, and a treat is a seal eye.
Right.
Like fish you have to dig out of the snow that you buried there 3 days ago.
I just want some Burger King.
Yeah, no one survives up there that's not an original like native Alaskan. Like very few people, especially in radio, because we're all soft anyway. Like they always give those jobs to like young guys or girls coming up that just graduated. They need experience, and it's like it's an adventure, and they know they're not going to have you long.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I definitely will say though, like of all the, if you were to talk about my current life situation and everything, like the biggest thing, one of the only things I would point to is like I feel this dissonance of being away from home. I don't like it. I don't like. Even more now with Anna, I don't like her being away from grandparents and more cousins, and
I'm not moving the show to Ohio.
No,
so
never. Over
good.
my dead body.
Let's think about it. Let's not jump to, Betty now has said that she's up for moving. So I think the Wally show could be done live from the shores of Lake Erie.
Yes, no.
See, that sounds good.
Absolutely not.
I think it could be. I think it could be a powerful thing.
Oh man.
But yeah, so there's value in staying home too.
Yeah, there's good. Yeah, family. It definitely. I've undervalued family a lot of times in my life.
Right, because other people come and go
to take jobs.
Yeah.
And I've done that my whole life. But that's how I climbed. And there's a price that comes with that.
You climbed on the backs of your family.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And they're all poor. No. So. This is our birthday here from Stephen. Hey, it's my wife's birthday. She's turning 28. So happy birthday, Brittany. She's been a faithful potty for quite some time and got me hooked. So good for her. I'm a worship pastor in Gillette, Wyoming at Journey Church, and we've been here for about 3.5 years. I never thought I'd be in ministry. So one thing I've learned is that it's not just difficult for pastors themselves, but for wives as well. And being a pastor's wife is definitely a calling in and of itself. I'm thankful that Brittany's been by my side. So at the beginning of our marriage, she was a coal miner's daughter and would never have seen herself in future memory in ministry. So reflecting on this, I now believe I have a decent question for you. How did your significant others take it when you told them that God was calling you into ministry? And how does that shape your relationship today? So I'm curious if my stories might be different from y'all's. I don't know. So like Becca, you tell Joey you're newly married, you want to go into Christian radio, and you guys at the time, you were still living somewhere else. You came down here to intern. You weren't even married yet. Like, so, and radio doesn't pay a bunch of money. So it's like, how did that conversation go?
Honestly, I don't remember a conversation, and I think it's because he just knew me and he watched because we started dating so young and because we've known each other for so long. I think we watched each other grow up, and so the steps that we both made in our careers just kind of made sense to each other of like, oh yeah, that makes sense that that's your heart, that you're going to go into Christian radio because I've seen this in you. So I don't remember this big conversation and it being this struggle. I just think that he was like, yeah, I see that in you and I'm proud of you.
Right.
So
how about you, Zach? Was there an expectation from her that that's what you were going to do, was go to church service or something, church or work?
What?
Like, did Sarah just think you were going to be in Christian radio or be in a church working somehow? Because that's what you had done before.
I don't think so. Like, yeah, for me, I made a parallel move. Like, I've been in Christian radio as long as she's known me. So,
right.
But I don't know that there's an expectation that I'm always in ministry. I have, like, the way it's worked out. I never felt graduating college like there's some people that graduate and they're like, I'm called to full-time ministry the rest of my life. And that's
right.
Great. Like, I never had that, but it's what it's ended up so far.
Yeah, I've done classes like teaching at CCU and stuff where we talk about the call, and there was this whole book on this, and we went through it and stuff, and it's weird. Like, I don't know that I felt like this massive call, like you have to. It was like all these circumstances led to me being here, and I'm glad I'm here, and I think there's such good that happens through what we do every day for people, but also for myself personally. But I didn't especially growing up, it wasn't like, oh, I'm called to the ministry. And so my wife just kind of got drug into this with us, but she was thrilled.
Yeah. I wouldn't say drugged.
Yeah. She pushed me. Yeah. If anything, she was the one pushing me to make that jump. And it meant, hardship financially for us for a while. And she rolled with all of that. It meant her having to deal with people just hating me. And she got to where she stopped reading message boards and stuff because it was just so vile. And so, like, for me, yeah, it was like, but all of that said, she knew what was coming. She didn't fully understand everything that came with it, but she was totally, down for it.
I think we had to have conversations about, like, the 3 requirements for me for a job. And it's one or the other. But the first one, like, my ideal situation is that I feel like I'm making a difference in the world, like an impact.
Such a millennial.
So,
No.
But that's why I've ended up working for churches or Christian radio, because I do believe it makes a difference.
Right.
And so that's the top thing. If I can't find a job that does that, it needs to be one where I can grow a lot and learn a lot. And if I can't find that, it has to be a job that pays me a lot of money so that I can learn and make an impact through my money.
That was my radio.
So I've never gotten to stage 3.
Yeah,
so
you've gotten 1 and 2.
Yeah.
One day, stage 3.
No, I'd rather have stage 1. Like, that to me is a higher value, and I think, yeah.
My radio Disney job was stage 3. Like, I didn't want to take that job. I kept turning it down because I'm like, this is career suicide. And they backed a dump truck load of money.
Everybody can be bought.
They found my price, 100%, 100%. I'm not, and I don't say it with any shame at all.
Well, and that money did allow you to do ministry later on, and you did a lot of good things with that money.
That money is what what kept me able to stay here. Because when I was broke here, had a house payment in Georgia, was living here, trying to do the right thing that I thought I was, felt like I was supposed to be doing. Like, that money that we had saved, I cashed out stock to work here, and to pay my bills and to not lose my house. And so, yeah, I think God definitely provided for me with even things that I didn't like at the time, and I think he prepared me for this here, because even the content of Radio Disney was you're talking to kids, and so you had to keep your content clean in the midst of working in regular radio where I was anything but that. And so doing that, I think, prepared me for here, where I already knew how to work inside of some boundaries and how to shift my thinking and to do things that were funny but still clean.
So that ticked off boxes 2 and 3 because you learned and
I
grew.
did. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like your boxes.
Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, let me see. So that covers birthdays. We're trying to move through a list here because Zach has to go to a meeting. And this is about Venmo.
Yes.
From yesterday.
World's greatest invention.
I was so close to getting Venmo the other day.
No.
So close. And then I got an email.
Okay, okay, but
This is fraudulent.
okay, go ahead. But the video I was listening to watch this morning is bogus. But go ahead.
No, and I will agree with you that they sent me 2 articles about this. I had to write and warn you about Venmo because of the dangers where some people have been taken advantage of. But that was more in a transactional,
Right.
selling things.
Don't go do Venmo with the guy in the back alley. Like that's shady.
Or a Nigerian prince.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, because there's no protection for the consumer in Venmo, and Venmo says that.
Same thing with cash.
Yeah.
Like if I give cash to a shuckster, it's gone.
Yeah.
There's no protection.
Yeah. So the one thing that it did say that this is what might get me back on board, though, is that you can attach your Venmo to a credit card.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Do you have to pay a fee then?
Yeah, it's
I
a
would
little
think, what do you
slightly
pay?
higher fee, they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because then I'm like, oh, because then if you I trust 2 of the 3 of you, and so
And there are protections on credit cards.
right, exactly.
So, yeah, if you don't trust me, that's fine.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, because with credit cards, at least there's that one extra layer of security that you can protect yourself, and that they do that. So, but I think that's if you're going to be transactional with it. But yeah, that's their whole point, is just use Venmo with people, not only that you just know, that you actually trust.
Right. The same way, the same people you'd write a check from or accept a check from. Or
Yeah,
Right.
that's the crazy thing to me is people are like, oh, I'm just going to write a check. You realize that you're literally handing someone your entire routing and account number. That's just what kills
Right,
me.
because it's just written down
right,
there.
is that people will give a check to anybody. And thankfully, people aren't going through check. But if I said, hey, Wally, what's your account number? You wouldn't just rattle it off from me and let me write it down.
Right.
But that's what you do when you give people checks.
That is true. Yeah, and that's from a banker's
So
perspective.
does this mean that you're getting Venmo?
No, I have. You know what? I'm going to sit on it for another 6 months.
How much would each of you chip in if you got Venmo?
Ooh, I like this.
50 cents.
No.
We would-
Okay.
$5.
Wow.
Oh,
What?
yes.
So
5 from everybody.
I would do 450. That'd round you up to 10.
Okay, no. Betty has to get some skin in the game. So if I get Venmo, you guys are going to Venmo me money to get
Yes.
Venmo? I love this
That's
idea.
how big of a hassle it's been giving you cash.
And then you can go get us breakfast with that.
And then when you go
$50.
buy breakfast, we pay you back.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
you'd always
easy.
get paid back. It's
Oh,
like
really?
A constant
Would you
stream
really
of
pay
money.
me back? 'Cause-
Yes.
The reason we
No.
want Venmo is not for you to give us money, but for us to give you
because
money.
You're
It's a
always
total
the one.
win.
You're like, I want Becca to run the board, and I'm going to run out because I like to listen to how it sounds when I'm in my little truck.
Yeah.
And so that
Little
would,
truck?
Yes.
Thanks.
That's how you say it. And so it'd be so easy for you. Like this is a pro for you.
Real quick, the only reason I leave the show, in case anyone's wondering, is when we have something taped that we're running back.
Yes,
it's not like Wally's just always out leaving the show. Hey,
Just play a bunch of songs, I'm out.
exactly.
No.
But I do like getting out of the studio and listening to it.
Yeah, and getting us breakfast that we Venmo you
because I
for.
usually pay for breakfast.
You do,
Yeah,
and I
we're
feel bad
always-
about
I
it.
know we feel
But I
bad.
can't pay you back because I
And
don't
then
have
you're
cash.
like, oh, I always gotta pay for things.
Oh no, I don't do that.
Sometimes you do.
The only time I do that
doesn't
is
he?
when everyone yells,
Show
lunch,
lunch!
show lunch,
Show
show
lunch.
lunch.
Oh my goodness,
No!
show lunch.
Are
Hey,
you
guys,
paying?
can you cancel your meeting?
Oh,
Yes.
Show
do
lunch.
it.
It's done.
He's
Yeah.
paying. Wally's paying.
Ooh,
If
look,
I just had Venmo.
I know.
All right, so yeah, but I might do that then. We'll figure out your fiduciary responsibilities in getting Venmo.
I love that word.
I do too.
Fiduciary.
Fiduciary makes you sound really smart, like you got your smarticles
Or
on.
like you watched Mary Poppins.
Yeah, what?
It's in
A fiduciary duty. It's in a song.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Nicely done.
Thank you.
By the way,
Did she know a show tune quicker than you did?
Wow.
She
Or
did.
is that how you even knew the word?
No, I knew it from what was it from? I think from a commercial or a TV show. It's not from reading. It's not from a dictionary. for sure. All right, we got just a couple more minutes left. You promoted that we were going to talk about Whitney and My Big Fat Fabulous Life.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my daughter, I love this kid to death. So she watches this show, My Big Fat Fabulous Life.
Sorry.
It's about this girl who weighs 3-something hundred pounds, and she's very infectious, but there's so much drama always around her life. This whole show is about drama and her and her friends, and it gets a little tiring. But there's something you like about her because she's just kind of open. So she gets this job as an intern at a radio station. So I love seeing anything behind the scenes radio. It's been my entire career. It's been that. And so she's working with Kiss 105.9 or whatever it is. And they always, that's what it is. Yeah. And so they got these two hosts. So one guy shows up 5 minutes before he's supposed to go on air. The other guy's in there. She's in there filling in for the other co-host. And the producer walks in, hands her all this stuff. Okay, here's everything. This is what we're going to do here. This is what we're going to do here and here. And like, everyone's doing everything for them. And like, they walk in like 5 minutes to go and they do the show. Like, so not reality for us.
For us.
A lot of radio shows do that. They walk right in, and then the minute the mics go off at the end of the day, they're there for 5 minutes and they leave.
Ryan Seacrest is a robot. That's a true fact.
Yes. Yes.
Like they just input things into him every day.
It's true. He has his own elevator too, by the way.
Does he really?
He does. He has an elevator that is only for him in the morning, and because I've worked in that building, and so it only works with his key card, so he can walk straight in and go right up to the studio and not have to wait on an elevator ever.
It's worth it.
That was where he dropped Ryan.
Oh,
What?
I brought up Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah.
Though. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll give that to him. I'll give that
Nice
to him.
try.
So you worked in the same place as he did, but you didn't get that kind of treatment.
No.
Is that because he's just so much better?
Yes.
As a radio person?
It's better looking is the big thing. Not as a radio person, but he's definitely better looking. I'll give him that. Those smiles. Ching! That'd be nice with a little flash on my teeth there for the video. So anyway, it's just not how we work. You know, we all have our jobs and we all, put into this show. But then they show Whitney getting up to come into work. And so she's getting up that day, and it's 3:30 in the morning, and she's all tired and groggy, and her roommate's all tired and groggy. And so they're just going through this and making coffee and getting ready. And my lovely daughter goes, "Oh, I feel so bad for them." And I go, "What?" She goes, "I feel so bad for them. They have to get up so early to go to work." I go, "Okay, pause this. Pause this show. You put that show on pause right now. Do you know what your father does every day to get you so you can go to school, to pay for your education, so that you can become somebody else? Do you have any idea what I do every day for you?" And she just kind of goes, "Okay, you need to calm down a minute." And that makes it worse. "No, I don't need to calm down a minute. I get up every day like that for you. And you don't ever say, 'Oh, my poor dad. I feel bad for him.'" I about lost my mind. I'm like, you're just crazy.
Tomorrow morning, I think someone needs a wake-up call.
Yes.
That is a great
Bring your daughter to
idea.
work day.
Only way to remedy
Do
it.
it. Do
That
it.
is
do
a
it.
great
Yes.
idea,
Yes.
Dave. And
Get
I-
a foghorn.
Yeah,
Off in the
yes.
room.
Oh, I absolutely
Do
love
you
that.
feel bad for me now?
Yes.
We can give you a GoPro
Oh,
that's
yes.
strapped to
That
your
would be
chest and-
fantastic.
So much fun.
She would lose her
She has
ever-loving
the same amount
mind.
of time to get up as you do, and she's
Uh-huh.
gonna be out the door.
Oh, she would lose her mind, which
a
would be
cold
so
morning, getting out when it's chilly. Getting in the car.
Oh, I do love that idea. All right, I think that's going to have to do it for our precast today. So on with the podcast. There
Well,
you go.
That's our
That-
podcast today. Thanks so much for being a party.
Thanks for helping out
You're
with that.
welcome.
Why don't you just go ahead and do it?
I just did.
Well, just do it without me talking over you.
Oh. Well, that's the podcast for today. And as so much,
Yeah.
As so much.
thanks for being a party.
There you go. Nicely done.
Nailed it. We do have two things here. Patty wants to know, did you try a medicine ball?
I haven't. I completely forgot about that. Also, Patty is my Dancing with the Stars buddy, and we haven't emailed about this week yet because I've been
Uh-oh.
sick. But no, that's an excellent idea, and I think it's paleo. It's so hard to be paleo.
Oh, yeah,
guys.
you're on paleo.
I am
right
on
now.
paleo.
No,
but
because it would have sugar in it.
would it?
Yeah, in the lemonade.
Oh, the lemonade. I forgot there's lemonade. I was thinking tea,
Oh.
honey, which they allow
Right.
because it's a natural sweetener. I don't know. like stuff like that when you're sick. Like I almost feel like that's worth breaking the rules a little bit. Maybe. No. Okay. Also, I got a weird call. You probably saw it on the video stream. I got a phone call during that, and like I always feel like I have to answer it because of Joey stuff and everything. And it was the pharmacy from yesterday when I went to the Minute Clinic. The pharmacy just called and said my prescription's ready. After this woman did the whole workaround talking about how I don't have strep, it's probably just allergies. Go home and sleep. I'm not going to prescribe anything. And now I have a prescription ready, and I have no idea what it's for. So does that mean that the strep culture came back positive? Does that mean that she changed her mind later on and changed her heart, and now I have a prescription ready?
But then wouldn't tell you.
I don't know.
My throat feels scratchy.
Right? Anyway.
And Claire wants you to tell a pun real fast. Go.
I
Pun.
can't do
Pun.
that.
Yeah,
Go.
that's tough. That's like telling a comic to be funny on the spot. Like, be funny.
Yeah.
Pun. See,
Wow.
we get them
I,
all.
ha-
but
I
it's
have
not
one, I
good.
have I have one, but I don't want to give it up because it's for my next best worst joke. I'm holding on to it because I think it's really good.
Yeah, no.
What's the funniest one you know?
Well, the super the one about the worst one I know is the Gandhi one. He was a super, like, he walked around barefoot. He had a weird diet, so probably had bad breath. So he was a super calloused, fragile mystic hexed by halitosis.
There it is.
That's amazing.
I apologize, Claire.
Claire, that's on you. All right, if we don't have any more questions, that'll be that.